I think I was reading a lawsuit, and they said that one of the points brought up is that Mayor de Blasio says, well, look, we've got all these hot spots, all these red zones. We got to shut them down. And then someone brought up, yeah, but out of all of the red zones, the only ones who shut down were the Jewish neighborhoods.
Right.
It's kind of obvious what they're doing.
The idiot gave testing in our neighborhood, and I have it on video. First, they came in, they do all the news conferences in City Hall. All of a sudden, one day, they showed up in my neighborhood in a park, and they did it right before a Jewish holiday where everybody's cooking and cleaning and running around with their children and getting their houses ready. They came to do a press conference right before the holiday. Of course, I caught them, and I wouldn't let that idiot Mitch Katz talk. I just, for 19 minutes, screamed and hollered and told them, how do you show up here with no paperwork, talking blindly? I mean, when I do my work during the day, I need 20 pieces of documents. I need to do research. So much going on. And this guy walks in and starts quoting numbers that are impossible. And for 19 minutes, I kept screaming and hollering at me, and he left. And they got upset with me. And the mayor, of course, sent a message to his liaison, we're going to get you. I said, be my guest. I live at 4316 17th Avenue. Hello, world. Come on over. Come down. That's how they found me, by the way. None of my police officers wanted to arrest me. So they had to send 2 warrant officers from the Bronx. Wait a minute. Yep. 4 detectives, 7 cop cars. El Chapo didn't have so many people. I am the man. Then they locked me in my handcuffs for 4 hours. They wouldn't take me to the precinct. They took me straight to central booking, left me in a car 4 hours handcuffed, making me suffer, until I finally said, you know what? I'm going to take a leak right here in the car. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Okay. So then
you pissed in the cop car?
No, I was going to. I had no choice.
Do what you got to do.
I said, I have no problem. Then they took me inside, and then when I got into the jail cells, everybody wanted me into their jail cell. They actually lost my fingerprints twice. Can you believe this?
I can't.
I missed the night judge, and they kept me there for 24 hours. Listen to me, man. I've slept in my car, sleeping on a dirty, and there's no social distancing in the police in the jails. No masks. Guys are there for 3 days without showers, dirty, filthy. I'm helping a few of them now that I met there. I'm telling you, so he doesn't keep his own rules on social distancing. Of course we're going to have diseases passed over there. These people are incompetent, losers. So I asked him, I said, make me deputy mayor. I'll work with the city. I'll show you what I can do in 3 weeks. Give me a shot. But no, we're going to keep the school. So then he started closing all the schoolyards. Finally, I had a fight with that. We got our schoolyards open, some of them, because some of the superintendents listened to me. But this guy is just foolish. And then I told my store owners, no, keep them open. Just for your knowledge, right before I was arrested, I was asked to join a 40 Zoom conference call. I'm just a regular guy, community activist, fighting for my community. They had cops on there, local activists, leaders, rabbis, politicians, and they all agreed that for the last Jewish holiday, which was Simchas Torah, which after my 2 protests, they asked me, don't do another protest. We want to keep the community calm because there was a fight, whatever, with me, and I was being taunting the mayor and the governor. Heshy, chill. And so they put me on this, and the commissioner of the police was on the conference call. And our leaders said, you know what? For the holiday, we're going to keep our synagogues closed. And each one kept saying we're parrots and they're knocking their communities. We have different communities, this Sephardic community, this Syrian community, different communities, different leaders. And, I have my own imam. I tell you that. I have my own pastor because I have a Muslim girl that came through my house. I have no problem. I work with all different communities. I am a man that believes that this is a great country. My father was in the Holocaust, survived it, came through fires of hell. You're telling me that I'm not going to continue fighting for this great country? I was born here, bred here, fought my way all the way back. No. Nobody's taking nothing from me. And I'm not bragging here. I'm nobody special. But I was on the phone, and they're all agreeing to this. And I was one of the last speakers. And the commissioner says, well, we're going to not enforce the rule. And I told the commissioner, right there, I got on the phone. I said, we have a court order telling you that you can't do what you're doing. The executive order he just made, Mr. Cuomo, is trying to override a court order. He can't do this. So here's the deal. You have no right to enforce it. If you do, we're not going to listen to you. So if you come in your guns with your synagogues, we're not going to let you in. You need a warrant. And the commissioner says, you can't talk to me like that. I said, sure I can. I'm telling you now that you will not come into my neighborhood on the holidays.
Wow.
And every synagogue was open in my community. Every play group was open. Okay, our stores were closed anyways due to the holiday. We can't drive around. Yeah. And I was driving around, and the police were very good about it. Our local cops know us. They love us. They work with us. But again, when your hierarchy wants to boss you around, they do it. My boys told me they didn't want to arrest me. That's why you had to send people from other districts. I was going to resist. I was going to fight the cops. I'm a big guy. So they beat me up, a little bloody. Would have been good for the campaign. You know what I mean? A little blood. Look what the guy did. But at the end, I decided, you know what? I'm going to be a man. I'm going to take it in. But, I wasn't going to let them push me around. I walked myself around. And I was going to turn myself in anyways. That was the funny part. The next morning, I was going to turn myself in. But the mayor just couldn't take it that I was getting so much publicity. My children out there, I want you to hear me, okay? This is America. You are free. You are free. I am free. We, the people. I'm not going to preach to you the Constitution or anything. You're not taking my rights. You're not coming into my home. You're not locking my doors. I don't want to take a vaccine. I won't take it. Yeah, take it. I'm not telling you not to wear a mask when you go into a store. You want to go into somebody's store, he tells you to wear a mask, wear a mask. That's it. It's your right. Walk on the street, leave me alone. And the numbers are out there. You don't have to wear a mask outside. The trains, people are touching everything. You can't keep it that clean. We have the restaurants open. These outside restaurants in New York? They're nicer than the indoor restaurants.
Yeah, they call it eating outside. So, wait, you can eat inside so long as the inside is outside of the original inside. It's meaningless.
This guy's whacked, and I've kept restaurants open, and I'm telling him to fight, but he's shutting my people down. He's putting people out of business, and I'm fighting them back, and he's giving us fines. And he's, just for your knowledge, he has health department inspectors doing building inspections, building inspectors and parole officers doing health inspections. These guys are not qualified. He takes people with no badges or people with guns. Listen to this, Tim. People with guns, sheriffs, because our police won't do it, climbing into little girls' schools with guns, climbing through the window or taking pictures, peeping into windows. Are you crazy? Really, Mr. Mayor? But let me tell you
is that cop crazy?
It's like he's crazy. It's sheriff crazy. Not my cops. Cops and all this thing. But I want you to know what happened over the weekend. I want you to enjoy this. 17 shootings. 4 murders. I don't want to tell you that I even had a rape last Sunday. Thank God we came back in my building because they see the buildings usually empty. Just that Sunday, me and my partner were there. Thank God we saw it on the camera. We ran out. They tried to rape a young Muslim girl, 14-year-old. We stopped it. We chased it. We gave the cops pictures. 2 days later, we caught the guy because we know our neighborhood. This is what he allows. My neighborhood is patrolled. Nothing is boarded up. Downtown Brooklyn, 10 minutes away from me. This is the fancy rich people. I'm not talking a co-op there, a one-bedroom studio can go for $1 million. And that's cheap. I'm talking, that's for the poor people. Those people are boarding up their windows. They're breaking into banks. They're ripping off telemachines because they can't be watched. And this guy is letting him get away with it. But you know what he's busy with? That we have to close our stores, close our schools, and wear masks and come after the Jews because we're quiet. We're wussies. Well, you know what? No more. My movement has started. It's spread. It's spread around my city. It's spread to other cities like Buffalo. It's spreading upstate. We're standing up. Even the sheriffs upstate. Are you crazy? You're going to enforce Thanksgiving? I can only have 10 people. Would you like to know how many people I had Thanksgiving in my house?
Yeah, how many?
50. I had 2 extra seats for Cuomo and de Blasio just in case they needed a meal. I'm just telling you, and Hanukkah's coming. I'm trying to get 100 people in there, just for your knowledge. 10 people.
YouTube's gone crazy, huh?
I guess I'm not getting elected.
So
HeshyTischler.com, everybody. I need $25 donations from all your people. I guarantee to be elected.
What do you do with the money?
So let me tell you what I'm doing. I don't need a salary, man. I don't need matching funds. I want to win with no questions asked. I'm not going in with 700, 800 signatures. I'm going in there with 10,000. There will be no doubt I will go in there. I'm going in there with 5 new councilmen that I know that are going to work with me. I have one that's going to be an incumbent for my neighborhood. I have 3 Republicans that are worthless in Brooklyn. In New York City, everybody has to run as a Democrat. I know people, you're upset I'm running as a Democrat. Well, most of my people go blind. I could be Republican, but I have to run on the Democratic ticket or I won't get nothing done. So I want to go in there. I want to win. I'm going to go there and campaign to my local community, put out the posters. I'm going to have to do a lot of stuff. I need pollsters. I need people getting signatures for me. I need people running from door to door for me. I need an office staff. Elections cost money to run, and I need $250,000 to run it, but I'm trying to raise the money, and I don't need a lot of money from people. I need $25, $50 from you guys. Send it into HeshyTischler.com. You know why? Because I'm going to tell you I'm going to make a change, and if it starts here, it's going to start everywhere. And when I get rid of this mayor and when I change my city council, it's called a clean sweep. I know I've been doing it from the outside for all these years. It's time for me to pick up, shut up, or stand up. And I'm going to stand up.
If something doesn't change in New York, that city's going to be destroyed completely.
We're destroyed now, my son.
You're destroyed now.
Well, go down Fifth Avenue. It's a shame. You have windows that are boarded up. You can't look in. Macy's had to board up their windows. Restaurants are out of business. I have people that can't pay their rent, but We raised our taxes that if you pay your taxes rate is an 18% penalty. Do you believe it? I can't collect rent. I can't pay rent. But if I don't pay my taxes on time, I have to pay an 18% fine. That's what they do. And by the way, all fines in the city of New York have just tripled. And
Tripled? Wait.
yeah, from $1,000 to $3,000, from $5,000 to $15,000. Again, I don't even know how that law passed. He was just able to do it without permission. And I want you to tell you the best part. We now have a new rule in New York City. We're allowed to rat on you. That means if you're driving down the block, Tim, and you double park, and I see you double parked, I take a picture of your car. You now get, instead of a $115 ticket, a $175 ticket. I send it over to the city. And I get 25%. I don't need to work anymore. Yeah, Tim, you and me, let's just drive around.
They're going to pay you to snitch on your neighbors.
So you don't believe me about this new law. I'm sure you don't believe me. So we have something that passed recently called the idling law. That, Tim, when you drive your car and you pull over and you stop and you're waiting for me to come out of the store, if you idle for more than 3 minutes and I videotape you, $1,000 fine.
Whoa.
Yeah. And it's already, matter of fact, Billy Idol gets on TV. I don't know if you like him, but I don't like him anymore. I used to like him as a kid. He gets on, he says, don't listen to the idling law. Come on, man. He's making, 311 was there to help the community, to call to see if there was complaints on the streets. Now 311 is made just to call on your neighbor. They come down, the complaint doesn't exist, but the inspector always finds something. I know, this is what I do for a living. I fight the inspectors. I help people get their houses back. He just comes in, they find something else to punish you. Shut down your job. And don't think some of these inspectors, they're prejudiced as well. I work with them. I take off my yarmulke when I work there. I'm embarrassed to tell you that I can't tell them I'm a Jew, even though they figured it out by now. But some of them don't understand it, and I just have to listen to their prejudice, their filth when they make fun of the Muslims or the Asians or the Jewish or the black people. They themselves do it. And I stand there and I take it. Why? Because I have to defend my people, whatever it takes for my people to win. And yes, my de Blasio hates us.
I think I have to correct you on something. You said that they were incompetent.
Oh.
Well, hold on. I would say first, you are partly correct. But when you say that everything they're doing is due to incompetence, I think it's on purpose. That when we know there are more red zones than just the Jewish parks, but they go after the Jewish parks, when you're telling me that they're now incentivizing people to take photos and snitch on their neighbors, they're shutting down the businesses in defiance of the science, in defiance of the World Health Organization straight up said, last resort, don't do it if you can avoid it. They're like, nah, we're going to do it anyway. CDC said, don't shut down the schools. He went, I'm going to do it anyway. They're doing it on purpose, and everything they're doing has the impact of destroying the economy of New York City.
Well put.
They're burning it to the ground.
Wow. But you want to go a step further? Not that I understand it at all, but when I did the 2,000 tests in my community, and we did it in a safe, clean environment, we went to the governor, mayor, look, we did the right tests, the 24-hour tests. And what happened? Yellow zone. But my neighborhood, the next door neighborhood, that somehow the city, they get money for everybody who does testing, these private organizations. There's always somebody making money on it, 200, 300, 400. How do you do tests on the street, which I have no idea. Again, the neighborhood next to us, red, which if you would have listened to me, I would have shown you how to do the testing. I told you the story about the lady in the hospital. She had a baby. They wouldn't let her out. They said she had COVID. I came walking in there with testing, and I showed them they're lying. And on Saturday, on the Sabbath, we picked up and we left with the baby. No, you're not stopping us. Look, you lied. I had one lady that went for an operation, wanted to see her child's wedding. 3 days later, they gave her a COVID test, positive. She called me up. I said, come on, guys, really? How is she positive? She's in the hospital. She's all better. She's positive. I said, let's give her a 24-hour test since these PCR tests are wrong anyways. He says, no. Okay, finally, after a big fight, we gave her the 24-hour test. 3 hours later, 3 hours later, he came back and said positive. I said, how can you give me a 24-hour test 3 hours later? I went in with my people. We did the testing. We released her. My city is lost. You want me to give you an answer on corruption? You want me to tell you that the election was fraudulent? There's something wrong here. And the people in the hierarchy think that they own us. Stop it. I'm not going to let them own me. I'm going to fight back. My community is fighting back. We're standing up. A lot of them are scared to lose the big bucks. I know it's a shame, especially for special needs children. I know for their welfare. I know for the Meals on Wheels. I know we have a lot of programs out there. But you know what? The Jewish community got $20,000 last year for postpartum depression. It's a very bad issue in my community. The neighborhood over that's not Jewish got $43 million. We have a $90 billion budget that's $9 billion in the hole. Now, normally, when you're in the hole, you got to lay off some of your workers. So he laid off the whole New York City, right? None of us are allowed to go to work. All 337,000 employees of New York City were working throughout the entire COVID. 300, all you had to do was lay off maybe about 1/4 of them to save on your budget. Never did it. Why? Because something is wrong here. He keeps collecting, he keeps finding. So he made up for the tourism problem, because he only gets like 8 or 10% of that, with the fines. That's what he did. The man is an incompetent, doesn't know how to run the city. I am a competent businessman.
I got to tell you, it sounds like it. I believe he's incompetent, but come on, that's on purpose, huh?
He found a way, because our house, we took our community that was fires. You know, the Bronx in the 70s was all burnt down. Brooklyn also was in the late 1800s under siege. And we have built, fought, brick by brick, house by house, fought, legalized, went through every attorney general, found every law to rebuild a community. We have 200,000 people. Do you know how many drug centers we have? 1. 2 youth centers. We have drug problem. We have kids in it with issues. Again, they won't give us the money for it, so we have to do it ourselves. The man only cares about himself. I'm sorry.
No. You're running as a Democrat. But I remember seeing these protests, and I remember seeing a bunch of people carrying big old Trump flags.
We love Mr. My President Trump. Again, his policies are correct. He's done a great job with the economy. I am a man for Trump. Again, in New York City, we have a problem. We are a blue state. There's nothing to question. People, I saw it. But, you know, when my mother passed away 3 years ago. And people came to my house while I was mourning, because I go to all the homes. I go visit a lot of people, and I had hundreds of people come to say it was so nice of them. That's why I love my community, and they were just good to me. And where I raised my children, they all came to wish me well. And people said these 2 guys are running for councilman who are incompetent. One cheated to get in. Again, he was able to get himself on the ballot by cheating, and he got the Democratic vote. Nobody knew this guy. And the next guy got an independent. And I, with 3 weeks to go, with $15,000, I ran as an independent. Now, I won them in the debate. I was great. But the point is, people went to the polls blindly and just clicked Democrat, Democrat, Democrat. The guy won. And in the last 4 years, I don't want to knock him. I like him. Don't get me wrong. He's a nice boy. Again, nothing has been done. Hasn't stood up. When I started cutting the locks for the parks, they showed up. Hi, Heshy, we're here to help you. Where are you? One day and then they disappear again? They're hiding in their basements. They're passing laws, legislation, crying about budgets, which they've never done a budget before in their life. You know, I didn't take any PPE money when we were doing COVID. I kept every one of my workers working home, running around, because a lot of my people were essential, and I kept working them, and we're paying them. And trust me, it hurt us, because we tried to have a cushion in the business. We work on it. We're worried for busy days. My wife and me know that bad days are coming, and we've used it. Mr. Mayor de Blasio is spoiled. He has no idea. So when I keep saying incompetent, forget that what he's after to get us. Of course a bigot wants to come after the easy prey. Of course he wants to go after the poor black family that can't stand up for themselves. And then there's a lot of black people that could stand up and take advantage of the situation. We have the same thing in the Jewish community. You know, we have guys buying up poor people's houses, and then after he buys up the whole community, he says, oh, let's move to Jersey. Let's all go to Israel. No. I'm here. I'm here to stay. I don't care what you've abused us. There's always somebody in every community.
It still sounds like the jails, too, are getting abused. The people are getting stuffed in a cell with no proper, social distancing.
I go to jail every 2 weeks to visit people, and I see the way they abuse them. And you're right, some of you are going to say, well, they deserve it, they don't deserve it. You know, I have people coming home I'm into prison reform, and people come home. You think they can be better in one day? They've served 7 years, 3 years, 9 months in jail. People lose focus. I'm there to try to help them, to guide them. I'm not their boss. Don't get it out of their way. I know they're going to cause some issues. I'm there to help them if they want help.
So in response to stories about the jails being overcrowded, people getting sick, they started just cutting people loose. And then we started seeing a bunch of these people getting cut loose, committing crimes.
Yeah.
So that was a big complaint from conservatives. Or I should say, and many of them didn't live in New York, but they were pointing to New York, saying, how insane is it that you're going to let these people go? But then my position is like, first of all, if somebody isn't convicted and they're in jail because they just got charged, they may be innocent, then I don't think we can stuff them into, a disease-ridden shoulder-to-shoulder, cell. So what do you do? So New York passed that bail reform law, right?
Correct.
Cashless bail.
But there's so much that we could do there's so many ideas on wearing a device on your leg, having people. It's not just bail. Having people take responsibility for you. I'm not asking for bail. The parole officers are busy watching our stores and giving us violations when they should be watching these guys who we're letting out on bail or no bail. You know, they were even considering on giving me bail for a riot that never happened. By the way, my riot never happened. This guy, I'm not allowed to talk really about it. My lawyers are going to kill me. Not that I care, because I never listen to lawyers. Lawyers are all stupid. But we need them. They are, guys. I'm more smarter than them. But always never trust your lawyer. Listen to me, guys. You are the boss. You watch them. Yeah, they know the law. They know the paperwork. You do your research today with the internet. You can do it. Be your own boss. They are your employee. Some of these lawyers, again, think they're smarter than you. I don't care what they charge. So this guy woke me up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I was pissed. And he came to the first protest, and the second protest wasn't set up by me. The cops themselves called me in the middle of the night, said, Heshy, the kids are burning masks. We didn't make no big fires. It was put out with a fire extinguisher. Heshy, come help us. I said, but I'm home in bed. My wife is going to kill me. Get over here, Heshy. So I got out of bed. I came there. I broke up the protest. And I told everybody, go home, and nobody wanted to go. So the cop said, if you all go home, we'll allow you to come back tomorrow for 2 hours with music, and you can have like a dancing holiday protest. And I got on the microphone, the police microphone, and I told everybody, and everybody went home. The next day, this guy who was at the first protest, again, he woke me up in the middle of the night telling me, you're a bad man, called me some bad name. And I went over to him in the street like I would see you, Tim. If you went and started, waking me up in the middle of the night, I'd come over you, Tim, you're a bad man, you're crazy. And of course, whenever there's a fight, a lot of people came around and just saw my little argument. And the cops were all stationed. I had them stationed beautifully all around the 2-block area. 2 minutes later, they came and whisked him off. His brother-in-law was there protecting him. Nothing happened. What did I do? Entrapment and inciting a riot. What do I? Nobody was arrested that night. Nothing was burned down. No windows were broken. Nothing happened.
You mean incitement?
Right.
Incitement to riot.
Whatever. Yeah. Nobody was arrested. Even the cops are laughing that nothing happened. Nobody was arrested. And all of a sudden, they come 3 days later. After I talked to the police commissioner, they come arrest me. Why? Mayor de Blasio wanted to show that he's the boss. You know what? He's not the boss. I'm my own boss. People, your own boss. Stand up. Don't be scared. If you're scared, come to a guy. Come to an activist. I am not scared. I fight for, my father told me something, and I'm sure you heard this. Before he passed away, I was a little boy, and he told me, he says, Heshy, there's 2 things in life you can do. That's it. That's all he told me. You can do something, or you can do nothing. That's it. That's my philosophy. I'm never going to do nothing, my sons. I'm never going to do it. I'm always going to be there to do something. I'm always going to be to the rest of my life, as much as to my last dying breath. I know some of you guys believe in God. You don't believe in God. When I stand before the Holy Maker, I'm going to give him an answer. I'm going to tell him what I did. I screwed up. Don't get me wrong. Me and Linda fight every day. She's usually wrong. But don't laugh, Tim. She is. Look at Lydia. You be quiet. All you women are against us. I don't like it. Linda, you're right. I love you, baby. You're so gorgeous. 31 years she's tortured me. I love the witch. Anyways, I want you to know this is what we do. It's a battle each day. And my woman is with me. And I'm so proud of her for allowing me to stand up, even though me and Linda discussed, this was the year that I was going to retire. We put away a little bit of money. We were going to go into the sun in Florida. I was going to watch my TV on the beach all day long and make fun of all you people. But it came up that we can't. We can't let our children, our grandchildren, our foster children, some of the foster children we had, I was a little tough on, I'm a big fat guy, so I threatened to put them in the basement naked. It's a joke. It's a joke. Stop it, Ian.
I'm laughing.
I know, Ian. Look at him. He has something in his hands. He's going to throw it at me. Tim, stop him. I was a little tough. Linda was always good, loving mother. And you know what? They call her to this day. And sometimes I'm so proud when they call her and they speak to her. And I laugh behind the scenes how hard we worked on that. And Linda giggles, even though of all those terrible days that we had with them. I'm proud of her. And I'm proud that she's my woman and she stood by me. You've got to be there. Everybody's got their quirks. Everybody's got their crazy, sicknesses in them. Again, like drugs. I'm against drugs. I don't care about marijuana being approved. I don't care what your audience says, because I know little kids have it. I've been against drugs all my life. There are ways that you can do it in your home. Not for me. Never for me. I'm here to fight for my children. I'm here to fight for the next generation. I'm here to fight for my neighbor. I'm here to fight for my senior citizens. This is what I do from morning to late at night. And never will I stop. Trust me, never.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. So come back to check us out when we go live. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and we are also available on all podcast platforms for free if you want to listen to us there. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you all next time.